Welcome back to Goblins of Conquest.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Okay, so you guys, you now that you're in charge here, and all the goblins and bugbear and hobgoblin, because there's only one of each of those guys left, are giving you guys the proper respect as the new war chief and his clan.
Pseudo war chief.
Yeah, so we have a well.
Yeah, the big hole, the 10-foot well that goes down to the bottom, where the
druid is.
Yeah, where the bugbear crawled out.
Yes.
And you lit it on fire.
Yes, sir.
Big long fire was started.
It seemed like a great idea.
I thought so.
So you guys had to evacuate the room and close the door.
Yeah, it seemed like such a great idea that I left. And may have barred the door with you guys inside.
Yeah. We need to talk about you being a team player.
There is no I in team, but there is me. Switch them.
So you guys took some time to rest, recuperate. You magically felt your bodies surging with newfound energy and leveling up. And darkness for some of you.
Like me.
A little of the death came back with you. A little more magic energies pumping into you, your gods blessing you with a little more darkness, or your natural wildling, trickeries is finally blossoming into the power that you knew it was going to be someday.
Yes.
What about for a paladin? What did you get at the second level?
At second level, I got a fighting style. I gained the ability to cast spells, and smiting.
Smiting, so you can lightsaber up your sword. So which fighting style did you go with?
I went with defensive.
Okay, so you're sword and board? Okay. And our wizard is now surging with more power.
An extra spell.
50% more awesomeness.
Right.
So now comes that long conversation you guys have been putting off about, are you going to go down the hole? Or you could just put a cap on the well there and then consider yourself the new owner. It's up to you
I'm
guys.
going to go down the hole.
What was the name of the Herman?
The name of the what?
Herman? No, Druid. Druid was not.
The dead one?
No, the one that's still alive.
Yeah.
The semi-cool.
Yeah. But what was his relation to the druid? Did he just tend the?
Yeah, he was basically down there, and he was just tending the garden that's down there.
At the behest of the druid?
It was at the behest of the druid at one point, but the druid's not been seen in like 6 months. Since some adventurers went down there, and now the vinelings have been bringing them the apple when it comes to fruit, like the plan had been for the longest time. It's years they've been doing this little racket. So the little twiglights will bring the apple when it comes to fruit to them. But nobody's actually gone in to see the druid since a couple, adventurers got past them and went down there. But the adventurers never came out, so obviously, they know that they could have either, and basically he'll tell you roughly that when you go down the well, You can go straight to the left, and there's some natural cracks in the foundation of the castle that take you into Underdark, lower levels of Underdark. So there is that. Or you can go all the way to the right, and there's a natural fissure that you have to climb in and out. There's some stuff over there that the druids set up, but apparently it's really dangerous. Probably don't do that. Or when you go down into this next part of the dungeon, you go straight ahead, and there's the druid's workshops where he used to make booze and things out of mushrooms, but ever since the doors kind of got kicked in and barred afterwards, nobody's gone past that. They just politely waited for the bounty to come to them. Which, the old chieftain was cool with just the whole, hey, just let him come, go take a nap down there and wake up and there's the apple.
Almighty chieftain, with your ill-gotten gains.
Ill-gotten copper crown.
I broke the crown. I should go down the hole.
Okay.
Remember, he folded it in half and threw it down the hole.
So you guys...
Oh, yeah, that's right. He abdicated his absolute rule in favor of a council.
How untyrannical of it.
That's never gone poorly.
Okay, so you guys are going to set up to expedite yourselves down the hole?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you could just cap this sucker and, you did hack and burn all the vines that were being used before as ropes to get up.
No, let's go.
I mean, obviously your goblin council will keep those ropes nice and secure.
I'm sure. There's no reason that anyone here would possibly betray us.
Of course not.
Because it's not like they've seen how effective that is.
I can always do reattaching ropes anyway.
Goblins can climb very well, especially when you throw them.
Yeah,
Especially
especially
when
when
you
half
throw 'em
the
half the
climbing is already done.
Okay, so you guys are getting all your gear ready.
Yeah.
You're preparing to go, throw ropes down the hole. You
And
realize
then you pick up the goblins and throw them.
it's about 80 feet straight down.
No.
Well, you're attached to rope.
No.
Give her a light source, tie her to a rope, and slowly put her down. If something eats her, we don't go down.
No. There's no slowly. It's
Just
take
let
a
it go.
swim.
Wow!
You have
I
a bow,
measures
right?
this out to exactly 78 feet.
Oh, it's 72 feet.
Okay, so you guys are in the chamber. Are you giving any orders to your underlings now? You have a very large cadre of goblins that are baited on your every word.
Now the other ones are bringing the apples from the well up.
Basically, the druid would send one of his twig blights with the apple. Usually the chieftain would be there waiting with his pet twig blight, which would keep him safe. Because, association with twig blight. And the apple would just be brought out, he'd go get it, and he'd climb on it.
The only issue I see is we don't know how many twig blights are actually down there.
Good. How many twig blights are down there?
Well, there used to be 2 in the garden area where we would tend. They would basically just sit in the corner, but once you lit the room on fire, I'm pretty sure they're gone. There was also a pair of skeletons that the druid had that was helping to tend the garden. And we did have a lot of goblins that the druid asked for, but we stopped asking what happened to the goblins. Because, we figured that's how the twig blights got their blood.
Yeah.
So part of the arrangement was the druid would be provided goblins whenever he needed them.
And skeletons. How does a druid deal with skeletons?
Well, apparently this druid was a little messed up.
Just a little, yeah.
I mean, he's not one of those human above-world druids that's all hugging trees and planting flowers. This druid he's known as being the mad druid when he first got down here to us.
So
He was obsessed with the tree that's down in his garden. He actually, once upon a time, fought his way past the kobolds when they were here alone, and discovered that there was a magic tree down there. What the magic tree does, he never let us see, but we know it makes the magic fruit.
All right.
So at worst, we're looking at maybe 2 blights and 2 skeletons?
That's what it sounds like.
I think we should plan for more.
Yeah, what could go wrong?
Yeah.
Send down the goblin paratroopers.
Yeah, so soften them up, and then can we get the goblins to procure us some ropes?
Oh yeah, they'll definitely come out with some hemp ropes. Only the finest hemp ropes.
Yeah, I carefully inspect them.
Okay, yeah, they seem to be functional.
They seem to be.
That seem to have this slice halfway through. It's very weird. All of them.
Okay, and they'll basically set up 4 different ropes going down at once, so that way 4 of you guys can go at once. If that many wants to commit to going down all at once. And think that they're good enough of a climber to climb down 80 feet.
Who wants to go down first?
And of course, they will rig ropes so that way you can kind of semi.
I'll go down first. I just don't want the bugbear going next.
Well, you can do the well's big enough 4 of you can go at once without being in each other's way or falling on each other. And you will have advantage on your climbing rules because of the equipment.
If you want, I can stay up here and help you guys.
Yeah. I'll climb down as well.
Okay.
I'll take first down.
Okay.
Since we've got all these hobgoblins being so brave and overseeing the operation.
It's just because the bugbear wants to sneak down there first.
Supervise you, right?
Okay, so those of you going down, I need 4 rolls.
Rolls. Advantage on all?
Advantage on all of them, yep.
Athletics?
Yep.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. The ranger's zipping down like nobody's business repelling. By the way, only need 3 rolls from you.
21.
Okay.
17.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
16.
I got a 12. 20. On my second.
On your second roll is a 12. So immediately he's zipping by really fast, doubling. And then all of a sudden, as he zips again, you see him do the wah! Because his hands must have got hot. Let's hope on your last roll you save face with a 15 or higher.
I got a 14.
So, no.
That's a no.
I was glad they were at least with advantage because they were both of those were paired with a 1.
What's your last one?
It's 20 total.
Okay.
Is it possible to grab him?
Those were my 4 rolls.
Oh wow, you ended strong. So unfortunately, as you are all zipping down quickly, you notice the ranger got really ahead of you guys, and his momentum kept going and kept going. Unfortunately,
I'm leaning next to the opening of the well, waiting to hear somebody splats.
Thankfully, it's a nice soft ash-filled landing because all the leaves and dead plants down here were burnt to ash.
Good. Someone thought ahead for you.
Yes.
So 3 points of damage, which is really good for falling 20 feet straight down for a 3-foot-tall goblin. As all of a sudden he goes poof and disappears into the surface of the ash, and ash is poofed up everywhere.
Wow!
As you guys see this ploof of ash come up as you guys are landing in the soot yourselves, it's about almost knee deep of ash.
Goblin.
And immediately you take in the room. It's about a 50-foot by 50-foot square. Over here, you notice that there's a slight whistling sound of natural Underdark breeze, bringing up the mustiness of the Underdark. And the breeze goes off this way to where it's being carried off to something in that direction. And then you clearly see in front of you there's a broken door that has been barred with like vines and sticks and bits of table and things.
Is it apparent how long that's been barred up, or is
Looks like only about a month or two ago.
Okay, not with,
And it
the,
looks
not
like
with the
it's
last
been-
5 minutes.
No. And it looks like it's been fudged with. And of course you see the soot marks on the inside from the inferno that you created down here.
Does it? And this looks like unnatural growth.
Yes.
Yeah. I figure out what anything. Search around for anything unusual down here.
I want to blast the door open.
Okay.
I want to search it for traps.
You want to search the door for traps?
Yes.
That's
I'm going to get there first.
We haven't gone
Roll
down
initiative.
yet.
Yeah, everybody.
We
It's
haven't
safe
gone
to come
yet.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not down there yet.
So
Rolls.
We're
go
still
ahead
there.
and go over the door and give
Wait,
me
how far down is it?
80 feet.
I can make that.
Jump it.
No, I mean, I can blast the door from that high.
We had to go down the hole first. So you guys give them the all clear. Come on down.
I forgot what's the...
It's going to be your sleight of hand, or you can go with the investigation.
I think I'll take sleight of hand.
Okay.
+7 as opposed to -1.
Okay.
All right. 23.
You actually, when you're doing the whole checking the door up, tap, 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 you realize that it is rigged with some kind of alarm that if you were to kick the door open, it will make a shit ton of sound.
Wait until he gets here. Let him do it.
You think I care? So what do we roll to get done?
It's going to be 4 climbing rolls, athletics,
And that's
with advantage.
Okay. That would be 12.
Uh-oh. Okay, so immediately you jump over the wall and you kind of like Hercules the rope and you slip. Let's hope you're recovering here. What was your next roll?
15.
Okay, so you kind of like choke on the rope real quick because you realize you were free falling.
It's 19.
Okay, so you're showing off.
And one more.
One more, yep.
ouch.
16.
Okay, so
You're going to fall.
I am going to
16
fall.
on the stop.
okay, so you kind of like fall your first roll, but then you kind of like catch yourself and start going down. And then what's going on with the cleric?
Oh, jeez. First roll is a natural 20.
Okay, so you basically only need 3 rolls then because you're going down like a champ.
Well, unnatural, she said.
Yeah, unnatural.
I'm good. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
It's close enough to a natural.
Okay.
Okay, and what was your next roll?
12.
As all of a sudden you're getting cocky, momentum's picking up, and you just feel your hands burn, and you lose your grip. And what's your next roll?
10. I know.
At least it's half damage because you're falling in the ash poop. And I'm rolling low. So 3 points of damage.
Okay.
So you land in your tuchus, and a huge, compared to the goblin, billow of soot is flashing in the air. Now you and the ranger both camouflage with your soot blackness.
And I just look at him going, this is your fault.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously,
I usually don't get this till level 14.
Obviously, you slipped in the same spot he did.
Because we're all watching, I would have got that last one.
Okay, so big 50 foot by 50 foot. You have natural rip in the wall, and then a quarter that goes off this direction. And then the barricaded door that the goblin's listening at. She's tapping at the door.
Hey guys, this is trapped. Makes noise.
Can you disarm it?
Oh yeah, disarming it. Can I disarm it?
Yeah.
I mean,
You have proficiency with the thieves kit.
Thieves kit.
And she whips out the thing that goes clink, 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 clink to go on the inside and try to grab the little noisemaker.
So we have Underdark, we have Barrier
Something that you were told was dangerous.
which is the
Druid stuff.
right, which is the door that she's opening currently.
Well, he said this way was something the druid had set up in a crack.
Oh, that's the
And then, this is the druid's laboratory where you're heading with the door. Okay, so you're putting your little tool through the openings to try to disable the noisemaker? Give me a roll. It's your dex plus proficiency for your thieves kit. She whip out all her thieves kits that she's been great with. She's practically tempted to carve a mouse head. There's a tense second there when you thought you weren't going to disarm her, but then you're like, okay, guys, it's safe. It's totally legit.
Alright, someone strong, step out and open this door.
Not it.
I'm actually not very strong.
Not it.
Yeah.
So who wants?
I'm sure our chieftain would like the honor.
Here comes the chief. Here comes the chief. Everybody ready, because here comes the chief.
This strength check?
Yep. So you're just going to boot the door?
Yep. 19.
Okay, 19. You hold off, lift your shield sword up, just boot the door. The door explodes inward, and you can just see it's just falling apart because it's not really a whole door, it's a piece of barricade.
That's a door.
But you hear this horrible cacophony of sound as these like it almost sounds like cowbell because it's like cups with rocks and things falling down. And it's just echoing. And it's one of those noises that you hear, it's echoing out, then echoing back, then echoing out. And for a good 10 seconds, you're hearing echoes going on.
This is why you should be allowed to back in goblins, right?
And immediately you're looking into...
It's not my fault, he did it wrong.
He clearly rearmed the trap.
Clearly.
Please, I'm not smart enough to spell trap. By the way, I suspect they know we're coming.
You have a firm grasp that anyone within the near, mile of you guys hears that you're coming. And you're looking down this area here, where there's like tons of crap that you just knocked over.
Nothing dangerous lives in the Underdark.
No. Underdark's completely safe. It's totes legit.
Did they move the whole Underdark radiation thing?
Kinda.
Where it's if you weren't protected, you just die. Yeah, that's fine.
They made it more user friendly. So as you look in when you kicked in the door, of course there's door debris all on the inside, but you see old dust covered almost like fruit crates that have different fungus and things in them, and it looks like they're just haphazardly stacked.
Okay.
Like either somebody kicked a bunch of them over, or somebody was just putting them down, didn't know exactly what they're doing, they're just dropping it where they had it. And as you kind of look in, you can see that there's doorways, but the doors seem to be all smashed to shit. Like someone took axes to the doors type of thing. You got bottom of the door hanging on the hinges barely. And you can't quite see what's inside the doors.
This is a bit horrible.
And go ahead. Anybody else besides the paladin close to the door?
Close?
I mean,
Close.
I'm
Yeah.
right behind it.
Okay.
I'm getting up out of the ass.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Whispering into his ear.
stay back a
So-
bit for the moment.
So the
I
two
imagine
of
I'm
you.
really close.
Okay. You could be under either one of these two. All three of you give me perception rolls. Gonna be at disadvantage because the echo.
12.
Wait, disadvantage?
Disadvantage.
12.
12.
Alright.
3.
You're just. Did you want to borrow another dice?
I've got dice.
She's getting her ones out of the way now.
Yeah, just...
For the unimportant things.
So, obviously the little goblin is talking. That's why she got nothing. Paladin, your ears are still ringing from gritting your teeth and kick the door. Our dear Hexblade fighter, you kind of hear a slight shuffling sound coming from somewhere in here direction. Doesn't really sound like an active moving. It sounds more like a slow shuffle. Probably like,
I'm just gonna be ignoring it, using my knife to like.
Yeah.
like knob boots on concrete, just shuffling, kind of listfully.
Okay. As clang.
Echo. Off in the distance from Underdark, you hear the roar of some beasts.
And I'm like, oh god. Umberhold.
Oh no.
There's something.
Ranger, you go.
What? What's happening?
I will sheepishly kind of get myself to the door. I guess take a look down the hall.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Am I disadvantaged as well?
No, it's starting. The echo's starting to obey.
Oh, awesome! 8.
To your keen goblin ears detect. Dare I ask?
No, what?
Was that a 4?
Yeah, well, 8 after my +4.
You're like,
8.
coast is clear. Looks safe.
As I'm still cleaning the soot out of my eyes.
Face. Now you got this really cool soot, mascara going.
Concerned about myself.
You guys look like true dungeoneers.
Over here. No problem.
Okay. What are you two up to?
Well, everybody's crowding in the door, so I'm
just gonna lean over and look through the door and just be like,
Tithe is just standing there watching them, actually. He's kind of humored by it all. Because he's kind of sarcastic.
He's waiting.
Just walk down the hallway.
Yeah.
So, as they're all distracted by the door, I'm looking in the opposite direction, making sure we have nothing coming up from behind.
Okay, so you basically looking, you get the natural corridor down this direction, and, off there, there's
Right.
you feel the breeze coming up from Underdark. Go ahead and give me perception. Someone could roll amazing, you never know.
14.
Okay, you're definitely picking up the scent of Underdark from down this direction where you pretty much know it is, but you're not really picking up anything dangerous coming from either side. Just that beautiful, fresh Underdark air. Not totally repugnant to your hobgoblin nose.
Smells wonderful down here.
It smells
We have to
dank,
No, it
death, and
smells
life.
like ashes. That's what it smells like.
Oh, that's true, huh? Wipe my face. I forgot.
Now you have cool woad.
There we go.
Okay. So, everybody go and roll initiative. So there's some kind of, remnant of order in the game.
Wow.
Oh, I love this new dice. Yes, you're such a lovely dice.
Thank you.
Apparently it's a roll vampire because...
You can use my...
11.
we are rolling initiative. There you go.
20.
Your dice.
Whammy.
I have more.
What'd you get?
4.
Oh, it's perfect. What'd you get?
16.
7.
5.
Okay.
Which you can 0 + 2 is actually pretty awful.
I have a -1, so...
So, Rogue, you're up. You're gonna dash off into the darkness. You're one with the darkness.
I'm just gonna walk past everybody.
Okay.
Into.
Now, are you gonna walk out there stealthily like, or just blatantly?
No, because I don't think there's anything happening.
Okay.
That would be metagame.
It's safe.
So you're just like, how far are you going?
However far I can, without something happening. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'll stop when something happens.
Okay. So you come right about there, and all of a sudden you realize you hear some shuffling sound.
Oh. Oh, I draw my bow.
Do you do anything else besides drawing your bow?
I attempt to determine the direction that the sounds.
Conveniently enough, from your angle, you see 2 goblins.
Oh.
And they seem a little off, but they're shuffling in your direction.
They're shuffling.
That's cousin Joey, and that's cousin
Mo.
Yeah, my mind went blank.
Yeah, well, no, lost was
It's contagious. Hold on.
It's in the ash.
It's the mind wipe.
Oh crap! I'm so bad at coming up with words to say.
No, you're not. You're great at that.
I want to make sure that they know there's a regime change.
So what do you tell them?
I tell them something along those lines.
Hey, yo, there's a regime change.
They're like, what's a regime?
There's a new MFer in charge.
Okay, and as
Yeah, something like that.
you call out to them, of course, the rest of the group's like, whoa, she found some peoples. And I'm assuming you say this in Goblin?
Yeah.
Okay. And as soon as you say that to them, they kind of both look up at you with like sunken, empty eyes, and their mouths just kind of go.
They say, more brains.
And they're shuffling in your general direction now. Their skin looks kind of rough and lumpy for goblins.
I back up,
This makes you want to dance.
aiming at whichever one's closest.
They're about equal distance.
Okay, we'll call it that one then.
Okay, that one.
But I'm just gonna back up.
So you're going to use your attack to back up rather than attack him?
Yep.
Okay, how far back you going?
About halfway to the group.
Can they be friends?
Okay.
I don't think
Hey
so.
guys,
Hey guys!
something's wrong here.
Our dear cleric is next.
Dear cleric is still looking off into the Underdark, so just now hearing.
So what are you going to do?
I'm saying what I'm doing.
The darkness calls to you. It wants you to go to Underdark.
It does.
Totally the place to go.
Oh,
You know you want to jacket some drow on a level or two.
soon, but not yet.
Females are in charge of drow society, I'm just saying.
They think they
Anyway, so I'm not going to go, obviously, but now I'm hearing what's going on in the room,
Mhm.
yes. My attention is going to go towards that, and I'll head towards the door.
By the way, when you did back up, you saw that, by the way.
Oh, well,
Two more things.
I would just keep an eye out that direction. But I'm aiming at the other one.
Mm-hmm. You're waiting for him to come through the doorway. All
So
this goblin on goblin violence.
I don't know if she's going to back totally out. We're going to try. Now we know why.
I'm staying.
You definitely saw
now
her
we
creeping
know-
back with her bow
Now
at the
we know
ready.
why the door was sealed.
I think I may have figured it out.
I'm not going to go through the hall
Yeah.
or through the doorway just yet because let's see what she does first.
Okay. If you want to set yourself up so you have a line of sight through the door at least, like,
That's fine.
that's so that way you can at least
Yeah.
see directly what's going on inside.
Yeah.
In case a healing spell is necessary.
Correct.
Or some horrible death spell. Okay, so wizard. You know you want to unleash hell.
Yeah.
Or at least heck.
So I wreath my staff in green and step forward.
So you have this eerie green glow coming around, and you clearly see a goblin that seems definitely out of sorts. Its eyes are sunken in. Its eyelids are barely open. They seem like almost crusted with like some kind of gunk. and the mouth just looks completely slack-jawed.
It's
It definitely seems like it's either diseased or something's going on with it.
It's got blood. You know, something.
13.
13, you swing at it, and you come down on this goblin's head like a hammer. And you feel like you just hit a tree stump with your staff, because it doesn't do jack.
Interesting.
And this goblin just kind of like looks up at you as your staff whacks it right in the forehead and just barely reacts. Almost like literally you are hitting a tree stump and it's not acknowledging your blow. Except for a little opening gesture of the mouth.
Okay, so I'm going to step back 5 feet because I didn't move 30.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm 5 feet out, and I don't think its range is...
Nope, it doesn't have reach on you.
I mean, it can still move up and attack, but... Yeah, those are... We get a lumberjack up here?
That'd be the ranger.
Yeah. I have an axe.
Okay, so speaking of the lumberjack...
Speaking of the ranger. Alright. I'll get myself into the bugbear's feet. Go ahead and use that for...
Okay.
I can cohabitate space with my smallness.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Give me his square root.
Yeah.
Okay, and you see this little goblin that looks, almost bark-like texture on its skin.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got marks.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to hit it with my bow.
Okay.
Use the tray.
That a 15.
15. You fire your arrow. You know goblins. You know this goblin, and your arrow kind of thunks into its thigh, and it almost acts like it's got armor on. That it's thunked in, and it does not react to the arrow whatsoever.
It'll react to fire.
Yikes.
Kill it.
I think we're gonna.
Yeah.
Okay.
Start some more fire.
I'm
Paladin,
a bit concerned.
you've seen the ranger shoot an arrow in the room. The wizard, he thumped his stick on something and then came stepping out. There's the eerie green flame of his stick, casting weird shadows, making their skin probably look even creepier with the green flame.
Right.
I'm going to try and slash one of the
Okay, so they're all in these rooms. Which one are you going to go for?
One to my left.
Okay. So you're going off into the room alone?
Sure, why not? Sounds
Okay.
like a horrible idea.
Flashbacks of when you went off to get the kobolds on your own?
He lived.
He did? Mm-hmm. So what did you get for your slash?
21.
21 will hit. Now comes the important point of how much damage.
You do blunt your blade, however. Roll the edge of
It's like forging fire. I see some rolls and some
Right,
chips.
So it will be 7.
7 points. Believe it or not, you come down with your sword and you bisect this goblin through the chest, and literally this noise comes out of it. It almost sounds like you're bending wood, and when it splits open, instead of the usual goblin ichor, you see what looks almost like tree sap seeping out of this massive wound.
That's not
As its little eyes just roll back
weird.
and disappear.
That's not normal.
something wrong with that goblin.
Don't lick the sap. Don't use the syrup on your pancakes. Okay, you good with where you are?
You would.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. It's time for the hex blade.
Yay. Alright. So I will come in through the door. So
You know they've all been doing something in there. They all seem to be very disheartened because it didn't seem very effective in that room. Paladin didn't say jack, but went over here and chopped something. And you do know the ranger's pointing her, the rogue's pointing her little bow that direction.
Yeah, I'm actually going to move kind of into that corner.
Into this corner?
And light up my hand, and I will hold my attack until something else comes into the hole.
Okay, so what spell are you putting in your hand?
Eldritch Blast.
Okay. So all of a sudden you guys are now seeing the fighter do some spooky magic stuff. He was holding out on you this whole time. Meanwhile, 15, 20, 25, 30. Oh, look at that. He can make it. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 5, 10. Okay, so first, as you see them just kind of reach back and they have gardening tools in their hands, they're super creepy. Because it's super creepy gardening tools. The first one here's going to go after the ranger that put the arrow in his leg. Will a mighty 7 hit the little goblin?
Nope, I think not.
As it kind of just flails uselessly with it. This one's going to go for the bugbear. Ooh. Will a mighty 12 hit the bugbear?
Will not.
And this one's going to go for the rogue. This many low rolls, you're going to get an natural 20 against it.
Right.
Will a 10 hit you?
No, not anymore.
Okay, that was rather ineffective for all of them. I feel sorry for them. Okay, so top of the order, it's the rogue's turn.
Oh, do I get my attack since it...
Oh, yes, you do get the attack.
I'm going to assume a 10 does not hit.
You fire your Eldritch Blast, and it just washes over that goblin as he was coming out. That's why he made his attack. He just completely didn't even notice your attack. It's just bathed over his weird, not quite right skin.
What are these?
Those are just crates that have different things in them, like mushrooms and some kind of berries and food.
Okay.
Old food.
If I were to climb up on one of them, would I be out of reach of the...
No. They'd be able to stab at your legs.
I don't like that idea.
You could hide in one, all Assassin's Creed style.
Like into the hair. Okay. Well, I don't like being right there.
You do have that new,
I do have the new...
cunning thing.
Oh.
So the bonus action,
Yeah.
you get attacked, then bonus disengage, and then still have your full movement.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. No, I need to get away so I can get fired. That's my plan.
Oh, okay.
Set them on fire.
Okay, so you can use your disengage as your bonus action.
Okay, I do that.
Where are you going to want to go?
This turn.
Okay, so disengage will give you one move. You probably would want to go that way, because any other one will put you within attack of opportunity of all the others. So if you go back this way, you can then move around as however you want.
Okay, why don't you take me just out to the door?
And then you throw in a firebomb, you cook everyone, including the wizard and the ranger.
I think that's good for now, and then I'll so I will do that.
Did you want to shoot? Yeah. Because you have your bow ready.
Okay, yeah, I'll shoot.
Which one are you going to shoot?
The one I've been...
Okay, the one that you were staring at that came right at you?
Yeah, that one.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a roll.
8.
That will hit. As your arrow goes flying out into it. 8 points of damage as your arrow flies out and just goes into the eye socket and takes a chunk out the back. And it just falls over in this horrible...
creaky wood sound.
As sap is coming out the back of its open skull.
Does it actually have a skull?
It has something that looks like a skull. Something skull-ish. And now the cleric, you've seen this thing die. You know that's not a goblin. It's got no goblin soul to be harvested.
Alright. So, can I get to a position where I can see this?
Or you could even share this square with her.
Okay. Because I'm going to cast Sacred Flame.
Okay. Go for it.
All
and
right.
what's your spell DC?
12.
Okay. And it's for Dex?
Yes.
Okay. Will a 13 beat your 12?
Yeah.
As your flame kind of bathes in it, and it just kind of... And it kind of moves back. It just kind of sways like a tree almost. It almost reminds you of the way the twig blades move.
Yeah, I kind of had that feeling.
Nasty little bastards.
Right?
They're doing genetic engineering down here.
Alright, so... I mean, I really can't do a whole lot more.
Did you want to go in? Or?
Nope.
Okay.
Still...
So you're in a perfect spot.
Well, I'm still also kind of keeping an ear out to
in case
the outside.
trouble comes.
Yes.
Okay, wizard. You are surrounded by these weird pseudo-goblins.
Right.
We almost call them Wudo-goblins.
So I'm going to
Woody
do
goblins.
the green blade again.
Okay, so you light your staff up with green flame.
And I'm going to strike the one he hit with an arrow.
Okay.
With a 23.
That will hit.
And that's going to be 8 points of damage. And then the flame is going to erupt and leap to the next one.
As the flame dances right over your head through the doorway to hit the one next to you.
Is it 5 feet? It says
We'll
has
say
to
it's
be
within 5 feet.
that I can see within 5 feet of it.
Uh-huh.
So, okay. And they take fire damage equal to my spell casting ability modifier, so that is +2.
So 2 points of fire damage.
Yeah.
Avoids the radiant light to go into the burning green flame. But this one, you bring it down and it just like crumples. You know, you see like the neck breaks and then the knees break and it just crumples to the ground.
So it did respond this time.
Uh-huh. You hit it in the sweet spot this time. Are you good with where you're standing?
Well, if I step back, he's going to get a free shot, and I'm aware of that. So
Okay, so you're going to stand your ground?
I have blades between my knees.
Yep. So speaking of between his knees, what are you going to do?
Well, I'd have disadvantage if I fire my bow at him.
You can risk an attack of opportunity.
Well, I've also got, as a goblin, I have nimble escape, so I can actually disengage as well as a bonus. So I'll go ahead and disengage and back myself up into the corner and fire my bow.
Okay.
This time even worse. A 9.
Well, at least it didn't hit the bugbear.
Yeah.
I mean, as your arrow kind of goes skittering across
I
the door.
apparently suffered 3 points of jealousy damage watching the rogue
Well, what it is you were trying not to hit the bugbear, and that rogue is just so voluminous that it just, kept flurrying around the room.
I think it was first the Eldritch Blast kind of blew up, erupted on the wall above me or something. And now with arrows
flying across the room. So,
you guys are trying to kill me.
Paladin, you hear them getting into all kinds of ruckus behind you.
I'll walk up to the window. And I will attempt to slash.
Or do you want to go for the flanking?
The whole 2 sodas
I'll
and
provide the
red
flanking.
vines for $4.
Just for you.
Okay. So you would have advantage since you're flanking with the wizard. And the wizard could pat you on the head if you do good from this distance.
18.
18 will hit.
9 damage.
And you come down and cut it to pieces. As just your sword is now covered with sap. If you cook it down, it might be good molasses.
I'm just like
evil
the
syrup.
Aww.
It's just so sappy.
But you're all glowy.
It's because you're trying your new spells.
Isn't there some, like, moss or something on the ground? Desperate, like, something to wipe the sap on?
Oh, yeah. You could even go up to one of the crates and, like,
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
Hacking, so you're kind of pulling it off your staff.
Yeah.
Wiping the gore from your staff.
Putting the hair gel.
Totally got the Wolverine swoop.
Right? And it's like, that's some strong sap.
Okay, so what do you guys do? Is you take in this weird, bizarre goblin scene here, these weird little sapling goblins.
I guess this would be a good time to have Giggle start pull again, right?
Do what? I didn't hear.
Pulling the monsters in.
Yes. I'm gonna go loot the bodies.
Were these like cells?
They actually look like different workrooms. Do you actually go check some out?
Yeah.
They go check
Yes,
those
you're gonna
out.
check that one? Okay, the goblins have
What's
nothing on them. The clothes even feel weird. When you start feeling the clothes and checking, the loose pockets and things, you realize the clothes are actually sticking to their skin. Like it's part of them. It's not clothing, it's actually them.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna back up and go check out her.
Okay. She's getting away from the creepy deepy little
Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and I'm assuming, are you all splitting up to go check different rooms?
Yeah.
Happens to be enough of you guys to split up. Which room are you going for?
Is there room for everybody?
Yeah. I'll go ahead. I'll continue searching in this one because I figure I do my little recover half
Where's
my
the wizard
arrows.
gonna go?
Check them.
Okay. Like a fine bunch of goblins. You're all shaking.
I'll just head down the hallway.
You're gonna head down the hallway? Okay, so there's a busted down door at the end of the hallway that will lead to another chamber. It's like half kicked in, so the top half is kind of like a barn door. The top half is closed, the bottom half is kicked in. So you definitely are sensing a very large, musty, fungal, farm-ish smell. Since you're a goblin, you know what that is.
Yay.
Potheads. You know what that smell is.
So, go ahead and give me a nature roll. A nature roll. 19, wow. Okay.
I've never seen a plant before, but apparently I'm very good at this.
So, you notice that when you're in there, you can immediately identify a bunch of tree, shrub, and fungus combinations that are there for making hooch. This was obviously somebody's hooch-making room with all the ingredients, and you notice there's a half vat where someone was would process the ingredients to press them down manually, and there seems to be like the leg of a goblin sticking out of the ingredients.
What?
Like possibly it was murdered in there while working.
Now, I'm not completely familiar with hooch making.
Mm-hmm.
Is that normal?
Not the dead goblin part. It looks, give me an investigation roll.
Like that may have been a special ingredient?
Yeah, an accidental ingredient.
Well, the bugbears consume goblins.
11.
11? That's just, to you, it looks like the goblin was doing its thing,
You normally do that.
and something came up behind it and basically ripped the back of its head open.
Someone apparently broke my paper towel machine.
What?
Why break my paper towel machine?
Look, I almost threw my back out trying to pull one down.
So it looks like this goblin was doing his job, mashing his materials, and something just came up and ganked him from behind.
Is this one of the sticky goblins?
No, this is a dead goblin corpse of a real goblin.
Well,
It looks about 3 months dead.
Well, the leg does. The body's a little bit better preserved.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you probably don't want whatever's been coming out of the cheese cloth catch basement. But there are some bottles of real hooch, apparently.
Don't be afraid.
clay jugs,
Hair
you
on your
know.
chest.
Yeah, then I'll check on the bottles, investigate.
Okay, so you pop the cork and sniff. You immediately can tell that that clay jug's got some kind of like shrub fungus hooch of some kind. Only the best.
Oh my god.
I take
Pabst blue fungus.
I will take a swig because I'm hungry.
Okay, actually, it's not bad. It's a pretty smooth alcohol. Smells horrible, but it's not that bad. It's been flavored with something that gives
so
it this
that's like
weird
alcohol.
juniper almost taste.
It's like a cross between beer and gin.
Yeah,
That's awful.
yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. Even just thinking about that makes me feel
Just chokes you up just a little right there.
Oh God.
It's just like Hobgoblin Guard, though.
So I come back out into the room like,
Okay.
booze, by the way. And a dead goblin, like a real one, not whatever these are.
Okay. And
Actually, did we determine what these are exactly?
you haven't. No, nobody's like really checked them out. They've just been like, ew, they're full of sap. Let's get away from these.
Is it possible? I mean, I don't know meta. Is it possible for them to recognize the bark skin?
Yeah. I think I probably would be very, very willing
Go ahead.
because of the sappiness of, at least.
They put a sign on their table.
What does their sign
It
say?
says, "Don't feed the tiny nerds."
Oh,
They like.
you're gonna have to run a game for them now.
I told them that I was going to make them a sign like that. They did it already.
Yeah.
Are we gonna have to start a tiny nerds group?
Yes. Your children.
Now I gotta go find something and get them.
Mm-hmm.
Just make
Just for being awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to figure. Yeah. At least the sap is definitely making me think, like, kind of at least do like a nature investigate.
From what I've heard.
That 19.
Ooh, that's really good.
Yes. So I switched off my freaking cool dice.
So you step back out and you're just investigating this little goblin.
Yeah.
It's just bugging you that you pull out the arrow you put in it.
Yeah.
And you notice it didn't even go through the skin. It's just like stuck in the bark.
Mm.
And his skin's like armor. And you're just like poking at it. And you've heard stories of evil trees in the woods that possess people and basically replace them as thralls. And this could be something like that, but you've never quite seen exactly this before. This may be some one-of-a-kind kind of
Genetic engineering.
tree pod people kind of thing. Because it kind of looks like a goblin, and when you kind of poke at its innards, it kind of has organs like a goblin, but they're all plant-based now.
Ooh, you could check to see if it tastes like a goblin.
No, I think that's your expertise.
And you're noticing underneath the armored skin, it's pretty much just like a goblin consistency, but it does have like a bark skin spell
Okay.
to make its skin thicker and tougher.
Goblin consistency.
Goblin consistency.
You've killed
All the goblin organs are in the right place. They're just a little more photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Woody.
They're just green.
Yeah.
For no reason.
It's green.
Super green.
Yes. That is troublesome to me.
Okay, so over here, when you're going through this room, you're noticing that this obviously is set up as a repair room. There's leather patches, there's thread, there's needle. You notice there's a huge amount of bric-a-brac of different outfits, human size, smaller human size, that are in different phases of repair. But most of them, you notice, are the brownish color. Like this is just where somebody does all their sewing.
This is where
leather
they
sewing.
circle.
But not just the human druid, but like their outfitting.
It looks like a long time ago, goblins may have been using the room as well.
Okay.
Tiny strings. That's how you always know.
Like, maybe there's something in here that'll fit.
I'm just thinking of a goblin
Underwear
sweatshop.
or eye patch.
Or both, depending on how you play.
I go with his theory. You know, before the apples, they had a goblin sweatshop.
Yeah.
There could have
Look at the
been.
boots.
There could have been. I mean, and in here you're basically finding various weapons. Looks like somebody's just been like haphazardly cataloging weapons and throwing them up.
Fairly mundane, I'm assuming.
Mhm.
Kind of.
It looks like, business may have been good for adventurers coming through, leaving extra arrows, swords. So if you guys are interested in a basic weapon, you're going to find one of those there, at least.
I fill up my quiver of my regular
yeah.
arrows. All right, let's go ahead and fill that back up.
You just see this big, nice bundle of 20
Yeah.
bow arrows, and you're like,
Yeah.
mine!
2 quivers now.
Did you shout out to the group? That
Yeah. No, like, hey, if you need to stock up on whatever, we got some sharpened pointies.
You shot some arrows.
And you notice that everything is fairly dusty and untouched, except for like the small track where you were seeing that these little woading goblins were walking around doing the same thing over and over. And it seems to be that they were tending, like, in each room there's a small patch of dirt, and they seem to have been taking their gardening tool and just, like, plowing little furrows in the dirt.
Thank you for listening to D&D Journey of the 5th Edition, a member of the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And remember, be careful out there. There be dragons about.
Obviously, you just need a studio, Jen.
If only the Kickstarter had gone through for the studio. Come winter, we can always get a rental storage unit.
Right.
Not during the summer, though.
I mean, even during the winter, it's pretty freaking hot.
Yeah, but it's survival.
Not if you're me.
True.
I wish most
Yeah, because you like summer, dude.
I do. Best way to live.
It was so cold outside. I couldn't figure out why. And I realized that we'd had.
Oh, it went down to like 72.
It was 69 degrees.
Well, that's wrong. I didn't do that intentionally.
And I was just like.
Well, this wasn't that cold. I didn't even have a blanket. Guess that doesn't really.
Great context there. It wasn't that cold. I didn't have blankets.
I know.
Well, if you don't need blankets, it's obvious. But he sleeps with a billion blankets even if it's hot, so.
Isolation. I have to keep